So you can right click and go to prices. See, Zenite is orange, 13 million. It's actually worth more than Onyx. Look how cool the Voidwaker sword is. When you're mining the salve, it looks even cooler. Like, I know obviously, like, the salve amulet does a little bit extra damage, but like, you walk up to like the salve gems in the cave in the haunted mine, near like the Morton teleport. Obviously, it would make sense to do the Myrique quest series, it would make sense to do the Myrique quest series if they have like the medallion for teleportation. Like, they have a ton of colors on the wall right here. It's not like they can't like change the character's animations like significantly and have color on it too. Like, you saw I beat Xanfer. They have a green lightning bolt. So you saw that? They have a green lightning bolt when you beat him. And his health bar actually recharges too. In the blighted entangle sack. Like, obviously you can just take out the battle staff at my current level of magic of 88, even without like magic armor. And if like the dude's like not too OP, you could entangle him. And then it's kind of difficult to like, you have to zoom. It's kind of difficult to click where they're standing. Like, I'm still learning that a little bit, but you equip the battle staff, entangle them, and you could step where they're standing. Yeah, I could hit a Pyre Fiend on the way. The Pyre Fiends are super weak. See? The Web Weavers, they could obviously pivot the Dark Knights, or the Knights, into the corner, which is part of the equation. So, like, the Knights are just overall, they have a slightly higher, they're kind of weak to slash, but they have a slightly higher, like, base stat. Because, obviously, you don't just knock them down with the Bando Scott swords. So you could just take out a Revenant Maledictus, get a PK skull with the Ursine Chain Mace, and risk like 2 million, which is like 1 million if you double their gold. That's probably why you see people Ursine Chain Macing the dragons for so long. Because they could just Ursine Chain Mace like the Maledictus. Like, I got an ancient emblem from, I don't mean to say that because I'll probably die, but I got like one of the ancient emblems or whatever as like a 500k. It has on the 1 million gold black mask, which you can use to make your Slayer mask. I emailed Jagex about the RuneScape 3 Slayer mask because you need it for one quest. Like, even if you walk out of the Revenant cave and like a cannonball is getting shot at this dude and he lifts his shield up, that has nothing to do with like what's currently going on in the loot. Like, you don't have to run over to where the skeleton dude is and fight him as a boss just because you got like your full armor set, or like as a response. Like, obviously they have wilderness bosses in this game. Like, I'm still waiting for my death dealer legs to spawn, because right now it's the Vault of Riches, like the knight in the corner. So like, all the Monster Hunter streamers on Steam, like, they're trying to figure out like why the knight's in the corner instead of like that the Voidwaker is that OP. Alright, what's up, dudes? So it's the morning time and I'm gonna get a little bit of Voidwakers in. So I think honestly rune plate legs might make it a little bit better, but I'll have to figure that out. Alright, I think bringing the Bracelet of Ethereum is definitely worthwhile. Now's like a pretty good time to make a little bit of gold. So let me charge up my prayer. The Morton teleport costs a lot. You don't even need to fight just these dudes. Like, the Revenant Dark Beast is there for a pretty long time, and you can run back and forth from them. But this has been a pretty good experience. Right now, some dude is sitting there just vibrating his car. I don't know why. It's like a pretty big vibration with this car. It's very big. But look how good these stats are. I mean, I basically got the gist of it in my video. It's like, oh, I'm either making like 100k or I'm making 16 million. So, I mean, if you combine like just how many nights you take out and then like just make a single like video of it, it gets a little bit better, right? Because you don't have to just keep leaving. You could just keep taking out nights, like keep editing them in. It's basically like its own headshot in the Halo series. Okay. I'm sorry, it's just the car. It sounds like his car wants me. Like, it's very, very weird. Okay. I feel like I'm remotely prepped, so I mean, my Blighted Superstore, I wish you could see the stats. Like, I wish you could place those like a little bit manually. But look how many nights I just took out. That's 3. I mean, the dragons have a slightly better drop rate, and the Bandos Godsword really, from like a year ago at least, like those were still like huge, but PvP is pretty huge there. Like when it isn't, you could get like 4 dragons, 5 dragons with the Bandos Godsword, which is super cheap right now. I think I defeated like 200 revenants yesterday or something like that. I sold off like 3,100 ether. So that's like the new meme that like you could just sell off ether. Because like it no longer exists. But yeah, I mean, I would have to test out whether I like the rune plate legs or not. I think the rune plate legs with also the full rune helmet is a thing. I think that's why they had to add like the Colosseum and like the rune items into the equation. Otherwise they wouldn't have been able to keep up with just like how insane like the Voidwaker is. Because like if you don't have rune items there, people are going to start getting confused. And like, I don't know, dude. So I like to use the combat bracelet while I do the special attack, and then just switch back, right, while it heals up. Now's a good time to make some gold. It's a little bit earlier in the day. They still PvP here and there, but I mean, now's a better time than any. Less camera movement, the better. I don't know if they change. Yeah, there's an opening right here, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they changed that. So the Voidwaker blade is essentially from Revenant and Callisto. They were 2 of the new wilderness bosses in this game. Callisto may also be known as RIO or something. Like, Revenant has his own cave, and Callisto is a bear. He has his own cave. I saw people on YouTube, obviously, walking around and fighting Callisto, like, in the wilderness. I don't know how they manage that, because obviously the fight takes place. Let me take out a stamina potion. Like, obviously the fight takes place like in the cave. Like, he has his own bear traps and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not even really geared up when you think about it. Like, I already have another 2 special attacks. I don't even know how that happened. So, I could put on my combat bracelet. Let me just get an extra hit in. Alright, so combat bracelet, hit him, and then hit him again. Close. I'll have to heal again, because he just healed. So I get a full extra hit on him before he even hits me. I don't know if this translates into real life. But, I mean, while you're playing on mobile, like, obviously you're eating a lot, and, like, even if you're using the Bracelet of Ethereum, like, you're sitting there eating. And, because you're eating, essentially, like, you could just sit there and just keep clicking on him. And, like, your phone, like, recognizes that you're clicking on him, and it, like, vibrates a little bit. So, like, you just keep clicking on the dude, because, like, you're trying to get your attack in, but you're also eating. Obviously, you could just use the Bracelet of Ethereum, but that just kind of adds, like, to the like, fight mechanics of the game, because, like, you can't eat at the same time that you're hitting him, but, like, he can't eat either, so it kind of is a trade-off, especially on mobile, because, like, of how, like, fine-tuned the game is, like, as a species. All right, so, all right, yeah, the stamina potions are super cheap right now. So are the anglerfish. So, like, they any discount they do in the anglerfish, I mean, like, I know that's kind of crazy. Like, okay, yeah, sure, like, 3 months straight of just, like, 300 gold. Like, okay, that's fine. But, like, why don't you see people doing this? Like, I ran in the cave all the time, and nobody was, like, the knights were always there on my way to the Dark Beasts, which makes no sense. Like, they don't PvP at all in the Dark Beast room, from my understanding. Yeah, so let's switch over here. You don't always get, like, the perfect hit in. I tried to buy some red dragon masks yesterday, and, like, normally they're pretty easy to buy. I guess you can leave, like, the trade in overnight or something. I guess people probably saw the Dragon Claw video and were buying the red dragon mask. So this looks like the Arceus area while you're training Arceus. Oh, yeah. So you kind of upgrade your character, like, as time goes on. Like, this is, like, the new character, just like the dragon chain body, the rune full helm, and eventually they'll drop either, like, dragon plate legs, or they'll drop like, rune plate legs, which don't even cost a lot, so you could start it out that way. And the difference isn't too much, but it's enough. Like, you don't have to recharge your bracelet too much, because the fights are so quick. Okay. So again, it's, like, really a trade-off. Sometimes I accidentally bring, like, way too many bracelets, and, like, it's definitely a problem. Because, like, you can't always, like, be doing the right thing. I think it's pretty obvious, like, what's going on. I don't think the rune helm really matters. Like, if I take the rune helm with me, like, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But if I do the rune full helm and the rune plate legs, which are only 37,000 or 20 whatever thousand each, it doesn't really matter. Especially if your car is still doing that same thing 10 minutes later. Even more aggressively. Like, why is this dude's car idling? It makes zero sense. Alright, so let's go for another special attack. I mean, even if, like, you were to do this, like, while, like, some streamers are, like, starting up their stream, it's not really that cool. Like, it doesn't make really much of a difference. Even if, like, you're into, like, I don't know. The red dragon mask looks way cooler. But, I mean, yeah, you could toggle off your bracelet. look at your bracelet, kind of like change colors a little bit, hit him, and then like switch back. I don't really think that matters though. Like, especially if you don't do it like on purpose. Like, whenever your bracelet of Ethereum runs out, you could just switch to the combat bracelet. It's 8 in the morning though. Like, why does your car need idle? Okay. I'm good now. It's fine. Look how cool the knight is though. He used to, I mean, the Solaire Knight in Aren Castle used to look like this. They actually modified his appearance. Look how cool the Voidwaker sword is. When you're mining the salve, it looks even cooler. Like, I know obviously, like, the salve amulet does a little bit extra damage, but like, you walk up to like the salve gems in the cave in the haunted mine, near like the Morton teleport. Obviously, it would make sense to do the Myrique Quest series, it would make sense to do the Myrique Quest series if they have like the medallion for teleportation in old school RuneScape. Because before, the Morton teleport was like 20k, and now it's like 50k. They moved it back twice. Like, I don't know what's going on. I like how you could hear the clicking. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, my prayer was off. That's fine. I like how you could hear the clicking while I stream. I don't know if it's while I talk or otherwise, but I think that's a pretty cool feature. I have my game volume at like -13 instead of -17. I don't know if it still does it. Oh, nice. Another good hit. I mean, even the Rune Full Helm seems pretty good. Like, maybe I'm just, like, ignorant, but I feel like, obviously, the Rune Plate legs would be a little bit better, but getting the bracelet, it just extends your life. Like, you don't have to necessarily leave. That skeleton, he's a pretty cool character. What's his name? He has like 2 different forms. Like, one's purple and one's orange. So, I don't know if like they're gonna make like orange weaponry. Is that like what they're gonna be doing? They have a skeleton boss. I don't know what his name is, but he's apparently one of the hardest bosses in the game. Like, why even risk my red dragon masks, right? Alright, so I feel like obviously these dudes have like definite issues, like when it comes to just like how good like the teleportation is. Because like, obviously everyone in the cave is like web weaving, like in the corner. So like you can like literally get here in like 5 seconds. Like, it's even faster. You don't even have to run. Like, they took agility out of the game. So it's like, obviously you could just sit here and like, I saw a dude running with a door before, and like, obviously that's like a thing as well, because like you could just run with a door. Like, why not? I lost 100k there. See, I could have saved my Rune Full Helm, but that's a definite trade-off. But there was a decent amount of defeats. They definitely track your wins sometimes. Obviously, I could switch over to the dogs or the Revenant Dark Beast, but that helps you out too. It also fixes your run energy, so I don't blame them. I like to bring some bats with me too. That definitely helps. But that was my bracelet, and he did just interrupt my ether. It's fine though. I forgive him. Obviously, I have to put my salve shard on. That's like a new cool thing though. Like people could just sit there and just idle their cars like wherever they want. Alright, let's knock this dude out. Like, I mentioned the entangle, the blighted entangle sack. Like, obviously, you can just take out the battle staff at my current level of magic of 88, even without like magic armor. And if like the dude's like not too OP, you could entangle him, and then it's kind of difficult to like you have to zoom. It's kind of difficult to click where they're standing. Like I'm still learning that a little bit, but you equip the battle staff, entangle them, and you could step where they're standing. And then teleport away. So that's always a good feature. Especially since like obviously at any given moment you could just load up like once human, and then like the monster hunter stats just go up, like they double. Because like they're right there in the area, right? So it's not like they're not like relevant. Like everyone has to practice, obviously. Okay, another one. So the Revenant Knights, their drops are like super good. Like it just matters sometimes. You just get such good drops that yeah, at any given moment. That's definitely what I want to be hearing. This dude's car for 18 minutes now. What is he doing? What is he looking at? Like, what does he need to know? Alright, so yeah, at this point, charging up my special attack is going to take quite a long time. So I'm just going to head over to the demons and to the dark beasts, because there are 2 demon rooms technically. Sadly, I can't just jump the pillar. Like this dude, he definitely has control of my eardrums, I guess. That's his freedom. Yeah, I could hit a Pyre Fiend on the way. The Pyre Fiends are super weak. See? And they make little bat noises when you hit them. So it's like you're charging up your special attack. Like even the GE, like when your sail fails to go through, like it's like burnt, burnt. So that's kind of a meme. Okay. I went for the protect from melee, so that dude got me. Oh. Okay, I muted myself. Yeah, so obviously the demons are weak to slash, and so are the dogs. So that's definitely relevant. The web weavers, they could obviously pivot the dark knights or the knights into the corner, which is part of the equation. So they could do whatever they want. And that's why people are kind of hesitant to talk about it as a strat. Obviously, you could just come over here and switch worlds, and then just keep fighting the demons. You gotta remember to do your special attack, but that's just how good the Voidwaker is. I mean, if you want to sit there and like blow out my eardrums with your car, be my guest, right? It's just like another hole for this dude to like participate in that he's earned, right? For sure. Like I was looking at this one dude on Twitter yesterday. He was posting about like General So's wings, and he has like 1 million followers or some shit. And like, I know some restaurants that have General So's wings. So like, why not, you know? It's just like another group. Like they hire people. So I even just got a sarcastic car beep. He's still humming his engine 22 minutes later. Sometimes your character turns around. I don't know why. I mean, the Revenant Dark Beast, you could just stay here for a long time. If you have run energy and you're only fighting one, you could go fight a Pyre Fiend in between, but yeah, the Revenant Dark Beasts, they spawn way quicker than the demons, and they have basically as good drop as the knights, and they're way easier to kill. They're weak to slash. The knights really aren't. Like the knights are just overall, they have a slightly higher. They're kind of weak to slash, but they have a slightly higher like base stat. Because obviously you don't just knock them down with the Bando Scott sword, so they are weak to slash, but their defense is slightly higher, barely higher than the Voidwaker. So if this game were to like add in like a, if they were to add in like, I don't know, like an orange sword, obviously you would just be running around this area and just collecting like a lot of loot. You could still use the Amulet of Avarice and like take out like, because the damage with the salve or whatever, it stacks with that. So you could just take out a Revenant Maledictus, get a PK skull with the Ursine Chainmace, and risk like 2 million, which is like 1 million if you doubled your gold. And you could just start with like taking out the Revenant Maledictus, which increases your Revenant damage even more. And then you just have the PK skull, so you could like run around, and that's probably why you see people Ursine Chainmacing the dragons for so long. Because they could just Ursine Chainmace like the Maledictus. It's not like the Amulet of Avarice is going anywhere. Plus, you don't even know what the drop rate is for the Maledictus. It's not too hard to find. Like I got an ancient emblem from, I don't mean to say that because I'll probably die, but I got like one of the ancient emblems or whatever as like a 500k drop from the Maledictus. I did it live on stream, which is pretty cool because they never really drop stuff like that. They usually just drop like super restores or stuff like that. I'm just gonna head out of here because essentially I ran out of prayer. Normally I bring extra prayer with me, but that's fine. Alright, so this dude's car noise is finally fading away to some degree. 25 minutes later. It's just so obnoxious. It's not, it's like his parking, it's my parking. His house is my house at this point. Okay. That's still fine. I mean, obviously. Oh, death runes. Okay. Like, he needs to be somewhere. so I'm still waiting for my plate legs. Like, still waiting. This dude has on the 1 million gold black mask, which you can use to make your Slayer mask. I emailed Jagex about the RuneScape 3 Slayer mask, because you need it for one quest. And, like, I straight up could not... Like, it's, like, impossible. Like, I bought the black face, or the black mask, and you have to combine it with, like, the nose peg, the earmuffs, and... one more item in order to make a full Slayer mask, but I'm not sure exactly what the other one is. I saw, like, back in the day when I was chopping use, and I thought it was the Dagoth mask. So, obviously they released the Sunfire, the Sun Fanatic helmet, which is kind of cool, which fell in price a lot. So, they do have Sun Fanatics. I really gotta charge up my prayer. Alright, that's fine. I'm using the combat bracelet instead of the normal one, just because of how little damage the Revenant Dark Beasts do. I'm not getting lucky here. Sometimes, like, I just straight up lose. Like, if I have loot, I could just lose to these dudes and then just run back. Like, that's how cool it is. Like, you could just lose, run back, and then, like leave your pile there. I don't know how long the pile stays, but, like, nobody really loots it if the pile's already on the floor. So it's essential, like, mechanics. Like, you could add PvP into it too, because, like, your pile's just sitting there and you could pick it up at any time. You don't have to pick it up. You could only pick up, like, the best item too. So the fact that, like, you're dying obviously doesn't really change where the pile is, because you could just die again and the pile's still there as long as you picked everything up or something like that. I don't really, like, I'm still learning, obviously. Alright, so let me bring my bracelet with me. Obviously this dude's, like, super good at what he does. Like, I would never question him, like, ever. Alright, so release this, release this. Like, I've never seen such dedication. Because, like, if you do it now, like, that's even more impressive. Oh my god, dude. Like, I've never seen someone do that before in my life. Like, if a dude literally broke his leg, like, and then worked, like, that hard, like, he's earned it for sure. Because it's already done, right? His leg's already been broken. It's not your fault. Alright, I'll just finish this dude off. Sometimes you just have to accept the loss. Like, you can't always win. You just have to drink a stamina potion and just come back. Like, you can't always win. And, like, even if you walk out of the Revenant cave and, like, a cannonball is getting shot at this dude and he lifts his shield up, that has nothing to do with, like, what's currently going on in the loot. Like, you don't have to run over to where the skeleton dude is and fight him as a boss, just because you got, like, your full armor set. Or, like, as a response. Like, obviously they have wilderness bosses in this game. Like, you don't have to go build a Voidwaker, like, as part of it either. It's not like you could just combine a Voidwaker and just make another Voidwaker, except orange or something. And it only lasts for, like, a certain amount of time. Nobody wants to see that. Alright, so that's pretty good. Oh, I almost got the full suite. That was close. That's fine. It happens sometimes. If I was on mobile, I would be eating more and hitting. I'm not good at it, I don't think. Okay. I still have my other special attack to go through. Alright, so I get another chance at it, at least. My hits weren't that good to start it up, but you have to spend a little bit of time eating. There we go. Pwned. Oh my gosh. Another one. Unlucky. The 1 damage. I like how it always hits while you hit him with the special attack, though. That's why it's so good. Because, like, you could call when that happens. And you don't always have to eat. Like, I already got my other special attack, so that one kind of works out. Alright, so let's go over here. Like, there are other video games. Like, you don't have to just play this game, obviously. There's only some times when you're doing it anyway. Plus, on stream, the Red Dragon mask looks really good. And I still didn't get my plate legs. But I'm not worried about that. Okay, got another one down. It was finally slightly faster of a down. That, like, my special attack, and I could leave. Like, I'm still waiting for my death dealer legs to spawn. Because right now it's the Vault of Riches. So people could do challenges and get a little bit of gold. Thankfully, I got my death dealer top in. Like, in the past 6 months, the death dealer robe top and the death dealer robe bottom. In the past 6 months in total, they went up like 3 million gold each, which is like 2.5 hours each of Arc Lake Core fighting. Like, that probably won't go up like too ridiculous, but because, like, obviously they want people to do it. That's like why it's in the game. But after some point, you're like kind of missing the point. People do need to eat food in the game too, like based on what they're doing, I guess. I should have eaten more. That's why bringing the bass with you is a little bit useful, so you can eat while you're at the bank. But the bass is super cheap, so you never see people doing this. They're always like, they just make up some weird strat where they just have like the knight in the corner. So like all the Monster Hunter streamers on Steam, like they're trying to figure out like why the knight's in the corner instead of like that the Voidwaker is that OP. So they're kind of distracting people. The knight drop rate's way better than this. Like, I don't know. Sometimes